everybody, happy Friday. Doreen at Door Designs. Hope you're all having a great week. On today's tutorial, we're going to do a really fun, simple spring design that's going to basically be using some filler flowers as our base, 2 or 3 of those. And I'm going to show you how you can do a really pretty design with just a few items, and then we can add onto it or build onto it to make it as full as you want. So on today's base, we're going to be using a 22-inch grapevine oval. And I went ahead and added the first one because my video actually stopped and I didn't want to tear this one out. So I have added one of my filler bushes, and this is what it looks like because I'm actually going to be using 1, maybe 2 more. But this is just a filler. You'll notice it's got different florals, different colors, different greenery. I get these from my wholesaler, but you can find different filler bushes at Hobby Lobby, at Michael's. There's several people online that sell supplies that you can get different things from. But this one, like I said, came from my wholesaler, and I've already kind of fluffed it out. So I've moved all the flowers forward. So the reason I'm bringing them forward that this can be flat is because it's going to go up against my base. Now, if I was using this in a centerpiece or some other design where the back was going to show, I would absolutely keep some of my florals coming through the back side also. But on this one, I just need everything to come forward. So we're going to move those around. And I'm just going to add this one over here on the side, and I'm going to show you how pretty it looks with just the 2 fillers. I dip the bottom of my stem in my electric skillet that's got Gorilla Glue, and I keep my temperature about 350. Okay, see how nice and pretty that is? So if you had, for me, it still needs some more, but you could stop here and add a bow if you wanted. But if you had a smaller base, like let's say you had a 14 or 16 inch and you used 2 of these nice fillers, it would really fill up your wreath to where you probably wouldn't need more than just those 2 fillers. But I'm going to add a few more things. I may or may not add a bow, but if I was going to add a bow right now and stop here, I'd probably put a bow here or maybe a bow up here with some ribbons going through it. But on today's, I'm going to go ahead and just add a few more things, and we're going to try and do as much of this as we can with just adding florals and not a bunch of background greenery and stuff. So what I'm going to use next, I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to go with the yellow. We're going to do just some kind of wild full. And I'm going to try to keep these all together without breaking them up. And the reason I'm using yellow, you'll notice that the bulk of my theme here is pink. But it's got some little berries in here that's got some yellow on it. And I don't want to have an all pink design. I want it to kind of look like a flower garden. So I'm going to add in some bright yellows. Oh, let me take the tag off. Once again, these came from my wholesaler, but I know you can find them anywhere. And really, you can use any florals you want. So let's kind of move those apart. I'm actually going to cut 2 of these apart. Maybe if I can get it. Here we go. When I design too, I like for my florals to have a lot of movement. And then I'm going to take a few, and I think put a few in here, and then we're going to add some more over on this side. Look how cute it looks with the flowers coming through it. And we're going to put some more flowers up in there. But see how it's got a nice full, kind of like they're blowing in the wind here. I'm going to add a little bit of height coming up in between the yellow flowers. These gladiolas remind me of my grandmother. Was one of her favorite florals. So I took one tall one up here, and then I brought one coming out here. This little guy keeps peeking around the back. I want him to stay up front. Okay, next I'm going to add a little bit of white. I always like to add white or lighter, brighter colors where I kind of see a dark spot in my design. So when I talk about a dark spot, right here I have a dark. Right here I kind of have that dark space here. I kind of have a dark space here. So I want to kind of lighten up and brighten up all this greenery that's really pretty, but it's kind of getting lost and kind of sunk down in there. So we're going to kind of brighten up a few spots. Okay, when I'm adding my little filler here, I'm basically cutting my stem down a pretty short thing, length, and I'm just going to go straight in. I'm not really going up or down. I'm basically just kind of taking it straight through the grapevine because I want it to really stand out. So we're just going to kind of poke those in. Couldn't find my cutters there for a minute. See how I just barely poked those in the grapevine? It's got the Gorilla Glue on them. They're not going to go anywhere. I'm going to put one more up there at the top. So see how the white really made the green pop, also made the other colors around it really stick out. So I use white a lot in my floral designs. Okay, you can stop and have a beautiful design. I just want to show you what it would look like if we went ahead and took a third one and started bringing it up. See how that just kind of closes in the whole bottom? So I'm going to glue that in. So look how pretty it looks now with also going all the way. I'm going to leave all of this open, but I am going to add in some more florals over here so this side looks nice and bright like the other side does. But I just kind of wanted to go in steps to show you, you don't always have to add a ton of stuff to have a beautiful design. And had I used a smaller base besides the 22-inch, I would have only used 2 of those filler bushes. So let's add a couple of more florals here. And actually, I don't think I'm going to add a bow on this design. And you can just add your florals wherever you want. There's not really any certain way that you have to add them. You just add them on your design for as full a design as you want. Also, what's good about these designs, especially if you are a designer and you do shows, these are really fast to make. And if you're doing multiples, this would be a perfect recipe to use. I'm going to add one more piece over there because I have one piece left. So we're going to use that one. And I think our nice big spring design's about done. See how nice and full? And we used 3 of the filler bushes, and then I used 2 pieces off of our yellow flowers, and 1, 2, 3, I think 4 of our pink gladiolas there. Now, if you wanted, you could do a bow. I'm going to just show you, but I'm not going to add it in the design. I would do a very simple ribbon. So this is a cream with a little gold that I had here. So you could put a bow up here on the side and bring some tails through it. This is not a really good bow. I'm just kind of throwing one together to show you. You can add your bow over here on the side, up here about 10 or 11 o'clock, and then take some ribbon tails through it. But I think for me, I'm just going to leave it as a spring flower design, and I'm going to leave the ribbon off. Okay, so this is a nice, easy recipe for you guys to try. For those of you that send me notes that you struggle on where to put your florals, just start adding them in and just decide how high up or how far around you want it. And like I said, had I been using a smaller frame, I would have only used 2 of the filler bushes and probably half of my other flowers. So this is going to be really pretty on a front door. And this kind of a design, this is a perfect design all through the summer months. And if you wanted to, you could add a little birdhouse in the middle. You could add any kind of design that you want to fill up in the middle. For me, I just love the flowers. I like the movement. I like how it moves around. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. I will be back next week with some more spring designs. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.